right, guys, we're back with another episode. If you guys have not had a chance, go out and watch the episode we just did with Coach Rex from Samba. He gives a little preview of the UPSL and news coming out of that league, and also out of Samba, Samba's future for this coming season. So go ahead and watch that. Click, like, share, all that good stuff. All right, let's get into some SAFC stuff. What do you guys want to start off with? Christian departure? What do you guys think of that?
Mutual release between the club and Christian. It's good for him. He never cracked the lineup, which I always thought was disappointing. He was a USL best 11, So it surprised me that he really didn't crack, get the playing time, especially when, early in the season when Maka wasn't there. But, hopefully he can catch on. It's late in the season, but teams are signing for that playoff push. So hopefully he can catch on with somebody. He deserves the playing time. He's a great player.
What do you think, Harry?
Yeah, I thought, I wasn't as – when he signed, I was kind of surprised a little because I thought with Felix, with Sip,
McCarthy.
With McCarthy, I thought we already had three pretty solid, and you have Ryan that can fill in, and little did I know that he was going to be captain at the start. But to me, I had him as the fourth center back, and he's quality. That's the issue is he's quality. But at this time of year, we're 10, 12 games from the playoffs or so. Something like that here, where the rosters, you're hopefully setting that lineup for that playoff run. To me, it makes sense. It gives him an opportunity to either go overseas, or I don't think he'll end up in the USL West, but I could see him end up somewhere on the east side.
Do you guys see us signing anyone? This is about the time we signed Mulan from Midland Odessa last year. It's when we brought in Presley last year. It's when we brought in Guzman and Gordon.
I don't think we'll bring in the big names like Guzman and Gordon, although Gordon's probably a story we'll have to have a discussion on a little bit later. I personally would love to see more young players brought in, and I think it's a huge advantage. Kind of like with Presley, last year you could kind of tell he was a little bit raw. He had some potential, but the off season where he grew, you could just see the difference. And I really think having that, those few minutes that he got or the practice time at the end of the year made a huge difference to where from season 1 to season 2, it's a big jump. And to me, I would love to see him bring in, some young players like that. Because that's really going to be the key for San Antonio is
going into the future.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I'm still going to put the name out there to Tim Holt, Darren Powell, Louis Dargent from Coastal Carolina. 6'4" midfielder, got the height, wins those aerial duels. Louis Dargent.
It's kind of surprising, Coach Powell, because he has that North Carolina or has that Carolina background.
Well, it's college. It's where Sip played. Sip played at Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to bring a big name like Harry says. I think we'll bring in more of a role player or a young guy. You just kind of slowly ease them in. Just going back to the ownership, it's not a Spurs kind of deal to bring in big name players, especially this far into the season. Maybe just fill in for have a player there to fill in for injury, maybe.
Well, I think if we were still having problems scoring.
Right.
I think you would have seen that, but I think with Bruce, with Guzman, you're starting to see the goals starting to come more consistent. But I also think Ward and Lopez, are to me the biggest benefactors of that. Or keys for that, not benefactors, but biggest keys for that here.
Ward and Sip getting in this lineup the last couple of weeks has drastically changed the way we play, and it's the best move that Coach Powell's made all year is inserting those two as regular starters again.
Yeah, so with Christian departure, the only departure we've had other than that would be Lee, that he decided
Chris Tierpak earlier, who
Chris
just
Tierpak?
signed with Nashville.
That's true.
After winning the NPSL title with Miami FC.
How do you guys feel about that? Do you think it was a? I mean, it's a big step for him personally to get back, from the NPSL, moving back up to the USL, especially with Nashville. If he can stick around, and was it next year they go into MLS?
2020 they
2020?
2 years.
Okay, so he
2
might.
years.
I mean, depends.
Well, he's got the MLS
Nashville is struggling
experience.
to score goals.
I'm not keeping up with that. So they do need a guy like him. He would come in handy.
We'll see.
All right. So let's move on from that. Let's go into some any notes, you guys. Any topics you guys want to cover that's been happening here in USL?
Welcome to USL, Austin Bold. Could you think of a stupider name?
My goodness.
I actually like it. I'm not gonna lie to
Bold.
you. I like it better than Austin FC or Austin SC. At least it's got a little bit of creativity to it. It's a font that's kind of the stupid thing about it, and the logo with the 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
So I hadn't noticed that at first. Did all you guys notice that at first? I hadn't noticed it until I saw.
I didn't notice it at first, but as soon as someone said it, it was all I could see.
Yeah. It's one of those things that you can't see the drawing until you actually somebody tells you it's there. What you think? I think Harry, was it you that mentioned about the color scheme that they're bringing out?
Yeah, I kind of like that they may have semi-sneaked the Austin MLS colors. Well, that wasn't even the biggest jab. The biggest jab is I forget who is the owner or GM, one of the two.
That's
was
right.
already
Yes.
talking smack, saying, "Hey, they wanted to see MLS Austin, so that way they could beat them on the field." Which
Silva,
that's pretty bold, because Columbus on the field is a decent team. It's not like Colorado or something where I think Colorado would struggle in USL. For that here, but
perhaps if they played a goalkeeper that wasn't 40 years old.
Oh my goodness! I think that's a personal gripe with you and Mr. Howard over there.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is he still a draw? I don't think he's a draw the way he's playing.
I don't think he's a draw anymore. No.
I think his mistake was going to Colorado.
I think that's why he's going to be going on with I think that's why he's going to – and to me, Colorado screwed it up because they had a good goaltender at the time when they brought him in.
Mm-hmm.
They had the MLS leading goaltender at the time who led in every single statistic category when you replaced him with Tim Howard.
Yeah. So
and you're not paying Tim Howard pennies, so
that's true. It goes against your overall budget. What you guys think of the signings that Austin made? Going back to Austin, those mid-30, high-30 players.
Retirement.
It reminds me of Vegas and how they initially started out trying to go in, with the veteran. And I understand it to a point, but on the flip side, they also brought in, and I forget the kid's name, a 15-year-old.
I have not seen that. that. Okay,
a local kid.
The thing is their signings, their old retired signings, they're not named. They're not the signing.
Well, they had that defender from Holland that played in the World Cup. I mean, how much
in
more
2010.
But I mean, it's still experience. It still comes.
Right, but they get experience. It'll be good for younger players. But you know what I mean. You may.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that splash. You know what I mean? That when you announced them, it was like, yeah, okay. It wasn't a big, oh, wow, I remember that guy type of signing.
I think they missed the mark with not bringing in Tierpak. Because he could have you could have signed him.
And loaned him.
He's a local kid. He's a name brand. You could have loaned him to Nashville. So, because El Paso is doing that with the player where they've already signed a player, but he's been loaned to Las Vegas.
Right.
So you could have signed him now. I don't know if there's contract stuff between San Antonio and Tierpack saying, hey, you can't sign for a team in the West, which technically Austin would be. I don't know if that's why he maybe hasn't signed there yet, but to me, it's just like with Michael Reed, I think that he should be one of the first players for USL New Mexico because he's from there. His family's from there. And he still has family there. And Tierpack in Austin, why wouldn't you go home and be the star of that franchise? And I know they signed the Brazilian players or that have Brazilian background. But to me, if I'm Austin and I'm and we'll find out tomorrow whether MLS to Austin happens or, I think we'll find out if it's going to happen or, the next step, which is, from last I've seen is kind of up in the air depending on who you talk to. If they can either get the market by themselves and they can bring in Tierpack and a couple of other, old Aztec players that, that are still in the league, to me, it's a way to kind of bring in that fan base.
What if they how would you guys feel if they start during the offseason to start signing some of the San Antonio players? Do we have a couple from Austin? I know Sonny.
Go ahead, Sonny.
Bye.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so that was Austin.
You asked that. Sonny had that great preseason game against, New England.
New England, yes.
As trialist, such and such.
His expectation was so high after that game.
And like I said, he's been a good player, but
I
don't see him on the team next year. He's 32, 33.
Yeah.
I don't see him on or I'm hoping he's not on the team. And the way Bryant's playing, which is kind of the role that Sonny, plays in.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Bryant comes, is re-signed or signed again, however that works out. To me, I don't see him on the team next year. So if he goes to Austin to home, good for him. And we'll sure love giving him some grief and we'll say hi, of course, before, but and after the game, but during the game, I'm sure we'll be giving him some grief and saying nice things to him.
Right. So that's the Austin. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we jump into San Antonio? No? There we go. All right.
What's going on?
All right, let's jump into San Antonio versus Los Dos, as Los Angeles Galaxy USL team likes to be called, Los Dos. So what you guys think about that game? Todd, let's start with you.
I enjoyed it. It was a good game. We won. Guzman's on a roll. He's looking good. I complained a lot about him earlier. I thought he was a static player. Stays in one spot. He's really, since coming back from the injury, he's really been moving around more, which, I think's helped the game and it's helped the team. I said it last week. We're sending more balls into the box, which I've been saying all year, and we're scoring. You're going to get those, those fluke kind of goals. We're playing better. The lineup's been consistent, which has helped.
It has been consistent. That's one of the major things that I've noticed. It's been mainly in the center with Lopez and Ward, and then in the center backs with McCarthy and Sip.
That's spine. That's and Ward and Sip being back in that starting lineup has bolstered the whole team. And they looked great. And man, I wanted Sip to get that bicycle kick goal.
Oh, that would have been amazing. Harry, what you think about Ward? His play recently, this last couple games.
I think Ward's been probably the key of the season. Like I said here, and I know
Harry.
I know he's only
You're breaking it out.
Been on the team.
There you go. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure why my connection's all bad tonight.
It happens, guys.
But no, I think Ward's been the key of the team. I think it allows Mikey to go up a little, like Mikey Lopez to go up a little bit more forward, and he's been a little bit more stalwart, more in the back here. But between him, Lopez and Bryant, I think you got that good connection. You're starting to see the flow from the back to the front a lot more consistent, which is helping feed the box.
Man, the Brian, man. I mean, God, he this kid comes out and plays. Now he might not be the player that makes a spectacular play, but he's making the right plays. You know, he's making the right passes, positioning himself on the right places at the right times. It's been amazing watching him come in. And do you guys think he's a starter? He's earned a place as a starter, or does he still, or would you guys substitute him out for another player?
I'd start him every match the way he's been playing.
Yeah.
Right?
Why wouldn't you start him?
Right.
It doesn't seem like it's too big for him, and I think we noticed.
Exactly.
I think he played against FC Dallas, right? I think that was the first time that he played.
Yes.
And it wasn't. You could tell he has the skills to do it. Now, could his body mature a little bit more?
He's gonna grow, man. He's only 16. Yeah. He's gonna grow. He's gonna come into his own. But as of right now, his play on the ball and off it, because he moves well. He knows where to be at the right times. And let's jump into the goals real quick. Darnell King, minute 20. It was a corner kick. I believe it was Connor. I'm not sure who it was. Puts it in the box. Was that a handball by Gordon?
I thought so.
That was not called. I mean,
I thought it was.
Honestly, it could have been. And
I've rewatched it, and I still think it's a handball.
But when I rewatched it, the thing I've noticed is right when that happens, the ref is being blocked from that play, from him touching the handball.
Calls are missed. You play until the whistle. You know, it happens. I did think it was a handball, but it wasn't called. And
so it hits off Gordon's hand. Not Gordon hits it, right? And then it goes back into kind of the box and sips there. He does an amazing bicycle kick that if it would have gone in, man, I would have taken my shirt off and ran out of the stadium. It hit the crossbar, unfortunately, bounces back out into play. McCarthy then tries the bicycle kick when he admittedly says it wasn't a movie quality on Twitter. I think that was his response. It wasn't movie quality.
That's the one that I went crazy on because
it was further out.
McCarthy's a big guy too, and to be able to have that flexibility and to have that skill to be able to attempt that.
So he kind of missed it, kind of didn't hit it right. So it jumps out into right at the edge of the big box, and you just see King go in there and right foot it it was a banger, man. It was a banger. The goalie had nothing to do. He just stayed watch it go by. And I mean, it's up for goal of the week. How are we doing with the votes right now?
We're tied or right behind.
Last I saw, he was down it was 42% to 38%, and he was in second.
For a minute there, it was tied.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
to
no
me the
offense
key
to San
on that.
Antonio, we generally don't vote very well.
What do you mean? Well, you typically win most of them.
I was refreshing and voting again.
Bruce won the goal of the month last.
But that was a great goal.
Bruce won goal of the month because I posted about it in a private group, and I had 400 people in that group say they voted for him.
Yes.
So,
cool. Do that again with King. You should have done that again with King.
But to me, and I think it was Lopez that had a shot at that. At the ball that King drilled in,
and he just left it go.
You could see you could see he saw King coming up, and to me that was one of the things that probably won't get noticed. I'm sure the coaches will notice it, but to me I thought that was a really unselfish play because he would have had a little bit more twerk of the body, but he saw King coming and had the foresight to lay off and let King drill it home. So to me, like I said, I believe it was Lopez. That was at the top of the box there. But to me, that's one thing that, that you can kind of tell the team is starting to click. The team is starting to gel because they're starting able to read people on little things like that, where I think early in the season, I don't know if we would have been as unselfish with the players we had on the
exactly.
field.
That was a not
about selfishness earlier in the season.
Yes, and that was not a selfish play by Lopez.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. And then after that, there was so we scored that goal. Everybody celebrates an amazing goal, and then Diego with that amazing save, man. That shot that came out of what's that guy's name? I have it here written down. Frank Lopez. Frank Lopez catches.
66.
Yeah, he catches like on a volley, and it's weird because if you look at there's a view where he kicks it and it kind of curves out, and Restrepo was able to move his feet. He just didn't jump from where he was at. He moved his feet a little bit and was able to just tip it off and redirect it to hit the crossbar, and he was able to catch it once he came off the crossbar. What you guys been thinking of Restrepo's play right now, man? I had seen a little bit of controversy a couple of weeks ago with him or Mr. Fear the Beard.
Cardoni.
Yeah, Cardoni. So what do you guys think? Should Restrepo be there? Should he not?
I still think it's Restrepo's. Even when we weren't winning,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he was the reason we were losing. Still think it's his to lose.
Harry?
I think it's a lot closer, and he's not commanding the clean sheets like he had last year.
Right.
And it's not to say the last goal against LA was his fault, because he's unlike earlier in the season, he's keeping the team carried the team on his back where it was indisputable. But
Right.
Cardoni, when he's been in there, shown that he can do the job just as well as
Restrepo. Yeah.
as
And
Restrepo. So,
that's my question. Like, the chances that Cardoni has been played, has he been a step down from Restrepo, or has he
No.
been? He's been right
No,
there, right?
Yeah, you don't lose anything by putting Cardoni in there.
Right.
You don't gain anything by putting Restrepo in there. But Restrepo's been there. I don't think he started as the number one
Mhm.
based on his performance at the end of last year and
he hasn't done anything right.
preseason. And I can't, fault Coach Powell for having Restrepo as the number one. He was the goalkeeper of the year. How do you not? But he hasn't done anything to lose it. But if Cardoni has to step in, you don't lose anything by, most second goalkeepers are a step down.
There's a level, yeah.
I don't think you have a gap between our first and second.
Right.
And that's why I don't think there's a wrong answer or a right answer on this, because you could play either one. Now, when it comes playoffs, and especially if it comes penalties, I prefer Cardoni, and it's just more because of his height.
Yep.
Playoffs, I'm subbing. Even if I start a Restrepo, I'm subbing. If it's a close match, I'm subbing Cardoni in the 85th minute.
To me, that's the only advantage that I give. But I also know that Restrepo's leadership on the field, especially with the back line, it is still probably a step up of what Cardoni's is, although Cardoni's improved quite a bit. But
that boils down to experience.
Right.
He's had it with the strikers and everything.
South America, Colombia.
A higher level college program. He was a national champion at college. He's got the experience to lead that back line more so than Cardoni.
So here's a question for you, and it kind of goes towards the future.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no difference.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see both of them coming back next year?
Nope.
No, man.
If you re-sign Restrepo, I think Cardoni's gone because
Cardoni goes to
he
Austin.
deserves to be a starter.
Yep, exactly.
Cardoni goes to Austin if
Oh shit! News. You heard it here, first, folks. You heard it here first.
Why wouldn't he? It's still local. His family could still go.
And
Either that or
El
El Paso. I could see either one, but Austin's just up the road. Why wouldn't you go there?
My goodness, that's a hot take right there. And you know what?
The question is then, knowing that, do you flip to get because playing time matters to the players. You can't tell me it doesn't. And if now it's not to guarantee that Austin will give him playing time. He's still got to earn it. Just like he has to earn it down here. But if you're not, if you're 1A, 1B, and you lost your spot due to an injury, but yet you've shown, hey, I'm back, I'm full. and especially now where you're starting to see more of a rotation, between the goaltenders. To me, it's not. I wouldn't want to be Coach Powell right now because I think, if I'm Cardoni, that's something that you have to kind of look at. But yet, Restrepo is one of those players that, to me, I'm not sure if I'd want to be on Restrepo's bad side.
Harry,
we'll just say that.
I'm not sure if Restrepo will come back due to his own. He was about to retire
age, yeah.
Before.
Well, speaking of his temper, Harry, you've been out there. You're right behind the goal. You sit right behind the goal. He gets after his back line as hard as, probably even harder than Powell does.
Well,
you see him scream. You hear him scream out.
Well, he got into it with some of the supporters from OKC when we were up there. He was,
Harry.
There was a supporter that was following him and staff to the locker room, and let's just say both sides weren't using very kind words to each other.
Fucking OKC, bro.
And to where security was involved with some of the staff from OKC. So, and I've heard a couple of other places where Restrepo's hasn't been the kindest person, we'll say, to the ball kids and stuff like that. So. But that's the passion that you love with him, though,
right?
And that's Restrepo, and I'm not saying either it's his fault or the guy from Oklahoma City. I think it was just it was a hot match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So then moving on from that Diego Restrepo save, we spent a little bit on it. Then the second SAFC goal came on the 49th minute. So Brian got the ball just outside the box in the middle. He saw Gordon open on the right-hand side. He opened it up to him. Gordon took on his defender one-on-one. He was able to kind of juke him and cross. I'm sorry. I'm looking at I'm reading the right one. Bryant had a right cross from the right side, right? Into Guzman.
Crossed it into the box. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was into the 6-yard box. Was that a fluke? Was that a weird shot? Did he do it with his back heel? It was weird the way I saw it on the replay on the TV. Because when Guzman shot it, if you're gonna shoot it coming at you, you usually land on your butt, but he landed on like on his stomach. So it was kind of weird the way he shot it. I don't know if you guys noticed it.
I was surprised the ball got through the box how it did.
Yeah.
That
but
was
that's
the
why
thing
you send it into the box.
Right. No, I know, but because
he crossed the whole 6-yard box.
But it was in that sweet spot where nobody could where nobody could get to it. It was a perfect ball. It was a great assist, and Guzman finished it like any striker would. But to me, like I said here, and that's where we go in, where he's got that it factor when it comes to the game, where he has the ability to place it where I don't think most people could place it, on a consistent basis, and whether he could or do that again, in the next, if he had to do it over again.
Yeah.
But
does he fly it over or what? Yeah.
But to me, like I said here, I wasn't so shocked at the kick that he did. I was shocked at basically how it was able to sneak through everybody and get hammered home.
Mm-hmm. What you guys think of the celebration? He did the old Billy Force celebration. Force. Yes, jumping on top of that box out there.
And I'm surprised more people don't.
Yeah. What is that box? Is that just like a random thing? What is that? What is that? Do anybody know? It's just like a metal box out there or something. I don't know if it's metal. But he did the old Billy Forbes and a couple of other players joined him up there. Mm-hmm. So that was exciting. Okay, and then after that goal, Bryant had that again, Bryant comes into the equation. He opens it up to Gordon on the right, and Gordon takes on his defender and cuts it inside. And then he gets caught with the defender's with leg. Could be called, it could be not. Depends how you want to call it.
It was a clear penalty. It was a clear penalty.
It got called. Gordon takes a shot, and he misses it. Todd, what do you think?
Gordon missed it. I wasn't shocked.
But Gordon shouldn't have took the shot, though. That's the problem.
Were you surprised that he took it? Who would have took it?
I was shocked that he got it, and it wasn't Lopez, who scored the week before on one.
Right.
And I don't remember the exact. Even Coach Powell in the post-match interview, kind of was like, "Yeah, that shouldn't have happened."
Well, there was reports. I want to say, I forget who it was. During the game, right after it was done, Coach Powell was like, "What is he doing?" It was from one of the, one of the people that follows us. I forget his name, and I apologize. He tweeted it during the game before Gordon was subbed out that Coach Powell was unhappy that he took it out, and it was an issue at that time. Now,
so is there an official penalty taker? I know when Rafa's on the field, Rafa takes it.
Most teams have.
Yeah, you got to order.
Yeah, there's a pecking order.
So is Gordon the official penalty taker?
No.
So
Gordon struggles on that, though, right? I think he missed against Oklahoma City, and I think he missed against.
He's missed. Yeah,
he has a history of missing, and that's why I was shocked that he took it because he earned it. And
it wasn't a very good shot. I mean,
it was a horrible shot.
To me, it was a situation like last year where you had Devin Vega late in the season that earned the PK, wanted to take it, but Rafa's like, no, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
And this is something that maybe where Lopez needs to kind of put the foot down.
I don't know if Lopez is an official taker, though. Who else would it be?
Well,
I know Guzman has missed one. Did he miss one?
And like I said, Lopez took it last week. He
made it, yeah.
More than Guzman, and it would seem that's when he's on.
To me, I would think it. Lopez, Gordon would at least be third on the list, behind Guzman and behind Lopez. I'd almost put Ward in there ahead of there too because he takes all the free kicks. So you got to figure.
Yeah.
He's I'm assuming he can. He would have the skill to do that. To me, you could tell that there is an order, and he did not follow the order. Now, what that order is, who knows? I think most of us believe it should have been Lopez that takes it. But, there's a reason why he got subbed out right away.
Let me ask you this. If it would have been 0-0 or 1-0 at the time, would he have taken it? I don't think he would have taken it. I think it's just because we were up 2-0. I think because we were up 2-0 and there was a cushion, they went ahead and let him take it because he earned it. But if it was 0-0.
I think he would have still taken it.
You think so?
I think he was still taking it, yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Everyone wants to take it.
He wants to score goals, and I don't fault him for it. It just
there's better people on the pitch to do it.
Yeah. So then moving on from that goal, then we had the lone Los Dos goal at the 94th minute, man. 1 minute left to go in the game. Frank Lopez, he first times it off a cross. He beats Sip to it. He hits Diego's
the weak side.
Yeah, I guess you can say it should have been Diego's ball, right, or post. But, I mean, it was first time. I don't know what you guys think. I seen some chatter that Diego should have stopped it. Now, why didn't he stop it? He's slow. It was just first time, right? It just caught him off guard or
when Sip got beat and that close to the goal, I don't fault Diego on that at all. I fault more Sip on it where you could tell they kind of relaxed a little. And LA has firepower. They are a great young team. They're a big team, but it was the last second goal where they let down, and to me it kind of irritates me.
We do it a lot, so we should be used to that.
The only thing that bothers me about it, and it goes more into the equivalent with the missed PK as well. Mm-hmm. We're getting to a season where goal difference matters, and
it's getting very tight. Yeah,
and you could have had an opportunity to win 3-0. Instead, you won 2-1, and you get the 3 points, which is most important and through there. But to me, those 2 goals could come up huge down the road if because it goes wins, and then I think goal difference is the next one there.
Yes.
If and especially like Sacramento, I was looking at it. I think they're a 5-goal lead on us right now.
Mm-hmm.
To me, if you make it, if you have those 2 goals, you're talking about 2-goal difference.
Yeah.
And especially if we're heading up to the Northwest, against Seattle and Portland, where you could possibly get some goals on there.
Yeah.
It adds up.
So let's go ahead and jump to that now. So we won. We got the 3 points. We got the 4th win in a row. We're on a little hot streak here. So we're in 6.
Fifth win in a row.
It was 5th.
We beat Santos.
Well,
we beat Santos.
Well,
how does it not win? We've won. It was the start.
Speaking of Santos,
that's the match that coalesced the team.
You know what? It all started in that game. In that game, though, it did.
Yeah.
It did start from that game, but
started with Ward.
Let's stick to USL talk. So we're in 6th after this game. We're in 6th place, playoff spot, with 34 points. 7th,
10 behind.
7th and 8th. The last 2 playoff spots are down 1 point with 33. The one above us, 5th place, Reno, has 37. But not only Reno, but other teams ahead of us, we still have at least 1, sometimes 2 games at hand. Looking at this coming schedule, what do you guys think? What's going to be? I know, Harry, you've mentioned that we have a tough schedule headed up to the Northwest.
Well, the good thing is Reno's losing to Salt Lake.
There you go.
As we speak here, so
help us out.
They'll have a game in hand. So theoretically, if we beat Seattle 2, we could theoretically be tied with them on points. Now they have goal difference.
Yeah.
On us thanks to beating us 6-0, I think.
Yeah.
On the season, so that's a whole separate discussion. But to me, like I said, last time you and I were on, we talked about hey, if they could get 4 points between Oklahoma and Colorado Springs, that would be pretty good with the 3 points against Los Dos. We ended up getting all 9. I think it's imperative that they get at least another 4 points out of these next 2 between Seattle 2 and Portland 2.
Okay.
I think Seattle should be the win. Portland's kind of hit and miss. It's in Portland, so you might get some of the fringe MLS players that drop down.
Right.
So that and they're fighting for playoff life as well. So to me, that'll be a great game next Wednesday night. To be able to watch. But to me, I think if they could come home, or I'm assuming they're going to come home, from the Northwest after that game. If they can come home with 4 points, I think that would be considered a successful road trip for there. I'd love for them to get the 6, but realistically, with the road form that we've had this year, 4 points is probably more than we've got on the road so far.
Yeah.
So.
Todd, what's your thoughts on this road trip? And then not only those 2 games, but the following ones.
Phoenix after that.
Yeah.
Theoretically, Sounders 2 shouldn't be a problem. They're a trash heap at the bottom. As Harry said, the Timbers are hit or miss. They've had their moments, and they've had moments that they've looked like utter shit.
Yeah.
So, but I think both of those are winnable. Especially the form that we're going into the matches with. The Wednesday the 22nd match against Phoenix Rising, that's going to be the first hurdle.
But we do very well against Phoenix, though. You look at how we match up. Unlike against Reno, we match up well against Phoenix. I know it's kind of a more souped up Phoenix team, and like I said here, I just think that how we play matches them to where I expect a tie on there.
I expect a draw. I expect 7 out of 9 points out of these
next 3 games.
Next 3 matches.
Yeah. And that's the same for me here. I don't know if we could win there, but I think if we can draw against them, I think that would be, to me, that would be a successful road trip if out of these points we can get 7 out of the 9. even 6 out of the 9 would. Yeah, I think Coach Powell would take that. If you were able to win the first 2 and unfortunately lose to Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. I still take that. Yeah.
I'd take it, but I expect 7.
Yeah.
But
how important has this win streak been with your confidence in the team? I know a couple of weeks ago we were all talking about, you know what, it's a fucking season that's gone down the drain, or we might not even make the playoffs. But now with this little run that we've had, it looks like everybody's like looking up already, like.
But you weren't seeing the consistency, and I think that was
exactly
the problem. It wasn't necessarily the results,
especially with the lineup, right?
You weren't seeing the lineup, and that's where I think we're putting Brian in, putting Ward in, has seemed to
yes.
At the time we asked, hey, what's our starting 11, and nobody had any clue.
Ask Todd, man, he was throwing darts at the lineups.
Where I think now you've got a pretty good idea of what the lineup is, and there's some key misses. If you look, Escalante's, I don't even think he was on the 18 the last couple of games.
Yeah.
How he's been playing, no, and I was an Escalante fan thinking that he would be the Billy Forbes replacement.
Right.
Captain Ryan, like I said here, he's more on the bench where we all agree that is probably more suitable for him. But I think you're starting to see Coach Powell, hey, I've got my 11, I've got what's working. I think it would have been interesting if Caesar wouldn't have got hurt, if Bryant still would have been in over Caesar.
You know what? That's a very good point. Imagine if Caesar wasn't hurt, would Bryant still be playing? Would he have been given that shot?
So to me, like I said here, that's the one that I think that was kind of forced on him. Mm-hmm. And Bryant's took it, and as we discussed earlier, there's no reason not to have him in there. For that there. I don't think the moment's too big for him. So I think you can go through and say, hey, the back line, because Felix is got hurt, and hopefully
mm-hmm.
it wasn't serious.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, you've got the core 3 in the back with Sip and McCarthy and Felix. Can step in and fill in for either one of them in case there's a card and there's no drop off.
Mm-hmm.
You got King and Cochran. Captain Cochran. On the fullback positions that barring cards, should always be there. And you got Ward and Lopez in the middle. The only one that's kind of questionable, and I don't think it's questionable. Would be up front. Whether Bruce or Guzman. I don't think you can go wrong with either one.
Yeah.
But I think the experience of Guzman,
the hot streak right now. He has a couple goals.
He's scoring goals. And I think his experience, and you can see, some of the inexperience on Bruce and some of the stats. I think like aerial duels and stuff like that, he doesn't score very well on right now. But you're getting kind of nitpicky at
mm-hmm.
that level. But you've got a core 11 now. Praying for no injuries or serious cards or anything like that.
Right. Todd, what do you think? Do you think Powell sticks to the same core lineup, or is he gonna go and do one of those things that he's famous for and just switch up the whole team? Especially with this road trip coming up, and he wants to keep players fresh. What do you think?
The thing is the match that you might see a little different lineup is the T2 match on the Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Following the Saturday Sounders. I expect the same lineup, against the Sounders that we've been seeing, barring, lower body injury type thing during practice. But like I said, the Timbers one, you might see a couple replacements.
Mm-hmm.
You can pretty much
Wouldn't
know
you
which.
Reverse that though. Put the weaker lineup against Seattle.
But then you come again and play the following Saturday.
No, they play
it's
the following
Wednesday.
Oh, okay. So then, then it makes sense. If you
you're right. I'd probably put a different lineup against
Seattle.
Just because I wouldn't want the 10 days for my hot starters.
Right.
Which we all.
Okay.
But one of those matches, I think, is going to feature a different lineup. I think one of them, I think you'll see Cardone starting, you'll see Bruce starting, and then you'll see the other one, Diego and Guzman. But I don't see right now with the win streak and the way everybody's playing, I expect to see 9 out of the 11 consistent throughout the rest of the year, barring, lower body injury during practice or accumulation suspension.
Yep.
But doesn't the bench seem a little bit thinner now as well? Because you're not seeing a lot of the rotation on bench like you used to.
Right.
And part of that's, we've lost 2 players. The injuries, like with Rafa.
We got 4 out. We got 24 we got 24 players signed right now. We got 4 out, which leaves us 20 players. To, 18 make the game day roster, but we're pretty much seeing the same 18.
Who's usually the guy that's getting substituted in mostly is Connor, right? Connor Presley is Murphy.
Murphy's been coming in.
Murphy and Connor.
Connor's been starting for Escalante.
That's true.
Yeah, it's been Murphy's been the first one off the. Typically, it's been Murphy the first one off the bench, and I'm trying to think who the other one.
Okay, who would be number 2?
Sonny has been coming off the bench second.
Yeah, Sonny's coming off.
Pekka's still out. I mean,
Pekka's still out.
He could be useful in this coming road trip, but I mean, I don't know if he's ready or not. To give either Lopez or Ward a little bit of a break, because man, those guys hustle.
But they're not. To me, they're like Cochran. You don't sub them out unless there's an injury, and I think you're starting to see that, where you've got the guys that can go the full 90, week in, week out. And the other thing to remember, the Northwest is not as hot as it is down here. And
they're not traveling as much. They're probably gonna stay in the area. It's a couple of hours.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah, a couple hours.
They're gonna leave tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah. 2 days.
Tomorrow's Thursday. So they're probably gonna leave on Friday. They're gonna stay up there probably till Thursday. Take a bus down to Portland, and then I have a feeling they'll fly back, because me and AJ were talking about this because we're going to the Phoenix game. Fly back to. After the Portland game, and then next Tuesday fly out to Phoenix.
Yeah.
So they're not. It's not like the old one where you had the Whitecaps.
You had the 3 teams. Yeah.
The 3 games. You only got the 2 up there, so you'll stay for that week. Short week up there. Come home and then fly back out to Phoenix. And then
last year wasn't it a 4-game road trip?
Vancouver,
like Seattle,
Sacramento, no, or Salt Lake,
LA, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was something odd, but but there's no reason, especially with the game being the following Wednesday, you're gonna come
you got a
home
week
for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So coming off these next 3 games, do you guys still see us in above 8th place in playoff position?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Okay. Because then after that,
part of it is because I don't think the teams below us are consistent enough to be able to do it. Because Swope Park's having all sorts of issues right now.
But we're gonna go look. Speaking of them, we're gonna go with them against them here in the next several weeks. Yeah, when we come back, and that they're a direct opponent to the playoffs, and so is well. What do you guys think of? I was thinking about this. I'm like, oh man, Salt Lake is coming into town. Or are we going up? I'm not sure.
We'll be going back up to there. We've already played them here.
But it looks like we got their number, right? Just like Reno has ours.
The problem is Salt Lake, because you have to lose in Salt Lake.
Last year we beat them, and everything was on the line last year. Pressure was on us.
It was a late game how they came in.
Yeah. So you guys have anything else to add to this game? Any other comments, suggestions for Darren Powell? Suggestions for Darren Powell?
Mission City is having a watch party at, what is it?
Your side of town, right?
The Luchador.
Yeah, the south side. The Luchador over on, I want to say it's like St. Mary's or Roosevelt.
Yeah, Roosevelt. It's not Roosevelt.
That's downtown, though, right?
That's Southtown, yes.
Just south of downtown.
That's Southtown. Come out. Everybody is invited. We're gonna give the game with. I think they have a projector out there.
It'll be on the projector screen.
Mm-hmm.
Match starts at 9. The Luchador on Roosevelt, which is just south of downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Stay for afterwards.
There's
One
gonna
of
be
the
some.
Mission Cities is doing a DJ set afterwards.
Yep. It's gonna be a
So
fun time. And I also want to give a little shout out to Soy Staff. They're gonna be doing a watch party in New Braunfels. So for all you New Braunfels or Northern San Antonio fans, they're gonna be doing a watch party. Check out their social media. They got something going out there. To watch the game out there. Yeah, I think it's shots. It's a sports bar, so go out there, watch the game. I have a couple of beers.
I think they said they're doing their shows out there too. So if you do want to go out and support them as well, because Benji and Miguel do a great job as well. And I know they're going to be covering the UTSA women quite a bit. If you haven't had an opportunity, check out their special with the head coach from UTSA. It was a pretty good episode. Yeah,
they did an interview with them. So any final closing thoughts, Harry? What do you got?
For me, like I said here, it was great to see the crowd. I think it was 74,000 announced here, and
it was legit.
And it was close. It
looked like
a fairly legit number.
But on TV, when you look at it, I'm like, man, it still looks empty. So
what looks empty? The section behind the goal. That one looks the most emptiest. Yeah. And I understand it because of the view or whatnot. A lot of people may buy it.
That's where I sit, and I think and I know you guys stand over there. I think they're the best seats, personally. Yeah. But to me, like I said, if you can, we've only got 5 more games left at home. 8 of the next 10, are going to be on the road here. So you've got 5 opportunities. We are not guaranteed a playoff hosting spot so far.
Not yet.
And I don't know if we will. So you got 5 games to come out and support the team. And I would love to see us, start to get closer to the 8 than the lower 7s for that. Also, 2019 season ticket memberships are going out. Talk to your season ticket representative or contact them directly, either at the game or online. They're always available for you to lock in your seats for next year. And if you lock in early, you get, if there is a playoff home game, you get priority seating, for that as well.
Todd?
And if you pay the full price all at one payment, you'll get a refillable mug that you can bring in and out of the stadium next season.
Oh, I didn't know that. I already did that. Nice.
Yep. If you paid the full thing.
Yeah, I did.
You have until, if you haven't paid yet, and you have a card on record, it'll be taken out of your account on the 4th of September. So before then, you have the option of switching to a 5-payment plan, the 4th of every month for, September through whenever. January.
Yeah, it's like 5 or 6 months that they do it. Yeah.
But you lose the one time.
The mug.
And to me, like I said here, the price of the season tickets you can't beat it. And I know they offer the weekend packets or the multi the few games,
6-game packages or whatever.
But to me, if you go to one game or if you're going to sign those, you're going to be going to more. So and the cheapest price is the season tickets.
Right.
And like I said,
I know mine averages out to less than $10 a ticket when you add it all together.
I think for the 3 of us sitting where we sat, it's a little bit over $500. And to be honest with you, that's part of the reason why I do not want to go to MLS, just because
the ticket prices, they're going to skyrocket.
Prices, and because. I was talking about this here. I spend the $500 for the season tickets. You figure $20 at least in concessions for me and my kids for each game. We're lucky enough to where we don't pay for parking, but if MLS comes, you're going to be paying for parking.
Yep.
You're talking where the families that are able to go out now would not be most likely not be able to do it, and it to me it's an awesome experience, and I would recommend, if you have the opportunity to get there right when they open up the gates, you can either get down to the beer gardens where SAFC warms up and kind of interact, or you can go down on the north side where I sit, where 210 or not 210, but the Mission City stands, and you can interact with the away teams, and there's a lot of fans that'll get signatures, or like AJ's got a lot of signatures from the goaltenders, talked to the goaltender coach from, LAFC or from Los Dos, and he did a little ball trick for AJ, which was awesome. And to me, especially if you got young kids, to me, it's an awesome way to be able to bring everybody into the game.
Yeah.
And you're actually able to probably get the drink specials. If you
Oh. Speaking of those, hey, make some more. What was it? Hurricanes.
Red Hurricane.
Come on, man. We didn't even get a trial.
Double the batch size.
Triple it. Yeah, triple it. I'm pretty sure if they would have tripled it, they would have sold out. But
they sold out what they made within 4 minutes of the match starting.
Yeah.
Did they just sell out on that side, or did they sell out?
I walked around the whole stadium to every bar.
Todd was running around. I need a hurricane.
What is a hurricane, though? Just out of curiosity.
Who the fuck
I've
knows?
never had one.
Nobody knows. We didn't get a chance to try it. Nobody knows. It's a mystery. Todd, anything else you want to add?
Bread and alcohol. Premier League starts Saturday.
Yes.
We have our league going. Last time I checked, 35 people or something like that. Go on our Twitter, Facebook, enter in find the code for the league. It's our pinned tweet.
Yeah.
Download the Fantasy Premier League app. Join, it'll ask you to enter the league code. You enter that code, pick your team.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can beat us. We'll find something to give away at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Prize.
So who is your premier team?
My team?
It's Chelsea. Them Russians.
You're only allowed to pick 3 from the same team. And I don't even think I.
Oh, your squad.
No. Who is your EPL team?
Oh,
Chelsea. Chelsea.
Yeah. The only thing I got to add is, when we did that World Cup pool, the person that came, I think it was second or third, you gotta hit us up. We still got to give them this painting back here. Hit us up, DM us.
The tickets
and we don't know who you are.
And the ticket, DM us with your name and I guess screenshot your team or your picks. How we can know it's you, because it only says the what is it, the username or whatever it is. It doesn't say. Yeah, it's kind of hard to trace it back to the actual person. So hit us up. If not, we'll retweet it. We'll ask it on the Twitter. So stay up to date. Don't think we've forgotten. It's just we don't know who you are. Todd, you still have some of these right here going around or no?
Yep. I'll have them at the next. I'll bring some to the watch party on Saturday.
Get your pins.
I'll be at the next tailgate.
Yeah.
I gave some to Harry. I don't know if he gave them all out or not.
I gave a couple out. Still have.
So
he has them on his Boy Scouts thing. He got one.
Grab a scarf.
All I know is
grab a pin, throw it on your scarf next time you see me.
Scarf, cap, shirt, whatever.
I don't know if you guys are superstitious, but since my daughter started wearing her Athenians kick-ass shirt, my son and I are both in black. The SAFC season ticket members shirts with this hat here. They have it going. So
keep it going. If you guys have done anything the same for the last several weeks, keep doing it. Don't take a shower.
So does that mean you get to go to the games, Jose, or not?
I went to this last game and they won.
All right.
Yes.
So you're safe.
I'm safe from that. I don't know if anybody else has been doing any superstitious stuff, but So other than that, guys, keep a lookout. Yeah.
When the streak started, I forgot my scarf that day, and I haven't worn a scarf to a match yet.
Don't take it. Forget about the scarf. Don't even take it anymore.
Oh, and I wear the the SAFC, and I know this is a poor story for Todd, but the SAFC flag scarf, which is a kick-ass scarf, dude. I got to give props to SAFC. That's a kick-ass scarf. Since I've started bringing it,
use it. Keep bringing it.
Maybe you should have released it against Oklahoma City, and we would have beat Oklahoma City on the 4th of July.
Anybody else out there? I know one of our listeners, Maximiliano, or who was Thomas. Anybody else? Have you guys been doing the same thing the last couple of weeks? Keep doing it. I know Mijo always wears the same shirt, the Mission City one with the 118 on the back. Keep doing it. So yeah, we got to keep the streak going. At least secure, at least the playoff spot, at least 8th spot. So, but if not, to try to get that 4th spot.
I want 4th.
Host the playoff game. Yeah, at least that.
I want at least the 4th spot. Because right now where we're at, we're facing Phoenix.
And it's doable.
Phoenix.
I was just worried about Phoenix 20 minutes ago, and you're like, oh, we set up so nicely. What the fuck are you talking about?
You know, he's
Playoffs,
nervous.
come on, buddy. Playoffs.
He wants
man.
playoffs. Talking
I
about
want
playoffs.
home playoff game. I want home playoff game.
Playoffs. Talking about playoffs. All right, guys. Let's sign out. It's been a long night. We did 2 hours with the other interview that we did. So yeah. So see you guys out there on Saturday. Oh, not out there on Saturday. See you guys at the watch party on Saturdays, and then we'll see you guys in a couple of Wednesdays here. There you go. Bust that sandal. This is the San Antonio Soccer Roundtable. We are out. See you soon, Scott. Peace.